Get subscribed on YouTube for all the weekend and racing festival tips. There's more coverage on the website of what we're covering, and don't forget the ULO Weekender podcast for a real in-depth analysis of some of the big races coming up. Barney will be hosting me, Katie, Caroline, or Marie, Franz. Wah, plus I'll always have a little story for you too. Here we go, it's 1000 Guineas Day. I did say what I thought would win the second classic of the season in the Spotify podcast on Friday, and I'm not changing my mind on that, but more of that later. On the Sunday card, maybe the last two races are the trickiest of all, so let's get those out of the way. I think that Moonfall can take the Novice Stakes for George Bowie, with Billy Loughnane just the man to get the best out of this Starman colt. He showed enough when second from a long way back to suggest he'll come on for that and win this. In the last race of the Guineas meeting, I'll side with general admission for Andrew Balding and Oisin Murphy. Although it's a tricky one to pick, I've got to stick the pin somewhere, but this trainer and jockey combination are right at the top of their game, so that's good enough for me. Come on, boys. Sunday's nap is Running Lion, and while there's only the 5 lining up, there's plenty of quality for the Group 2 Dahlia. She was second in this last year, behind Hughie Morrison's Stay Alert, just running out of steam in the final furlong, but I think she can go one better here, under the brilliant Oisin Murphy. Of course, 1000 Guineas winner of 2024, El Malka has to be feared, but she didn't win again after that classic triumph, so has to show she's improved again on her first run of this campaign. Charlie Appleby's Cinderella's Dream was just a half-length second to Moira in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf at Del Mar, so has to be a danger on this ground, but it's Running Lion I like for this. My next best is in the big one, the 1000 Guineas. I think the second classic of the year is going to one or the other of the powerhouse yards of Aidan O'Brien or Charlie Appleby. The Ballydoyle runner is Lake Victoria, the one I gave as my choice in the ULO Weekender podcast this week, and I can see no reason to change my mind, despite the Moulton Paddock's inmate, Desert Flower, coming into hot favouritism as the race nears. This pair amassed 9 unbeaten runs between them last year, with 5 of those here at headquarters, so there'll be no surprises on the track. And that's one factor ticked off. Lake Victoria is a Frankel filly, and it's been clear for some years that those fillies do come to hand sooner than the Frankel colts, while Desert Flower is a Night of Thunder filly, so also has Guineas pedigree inbred. Archie Watson has supplemented Duty First for this after a Group 3 Newbury win, while Ger Lyons' Red Letter deserves to line up here, but has a bit to find on Lake Victoria from last year, and although Saeed bin Saror hasn't had a classic winner for quite a while, Elwatine looks a super each-way punt. Lake Victoria for me, she's won here, and on fast ground at Del Mar in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf last year, and that's rock-solid form for me. Opening the card on Sunday, Owen Burrows' New Bay filly Falakea is my pick, after she showed plenty enough on the all-weather back in November to get my vote for her next run. That was her only start at 2, but she finished with such poise under super cool Jim Crowley, I think she's a worthy favourite for this listed contest. She's got an Oaks entry, so this looks a good starting point for me, with William Haggis's Anna Swan going to keep her honest. The Betfred handicap could be going to James Owen's Liam Swagger, as I did for the Fred Winter at the Cheltenham Festival. I had him at 20-1 anti-post for that juvenile race, and he did me proud coming in third. I do like the way James Owen goes about his business, with plenty of success in National Hunt to go along with an exciting string of flat runners. And Liam Swagger is one that can perform well in both codes for this young trainer. Adrian Keatley's Kihava won last time out at Musselburgh and is another that runs well in both codes, but he's under a penalty and has to give my selection over 1.5 stones, which could be telling when they hit rising ground coming out of the dip. Liam Swagger to score for James Owen, with Kihava running him close. Just the 4 going to post for this filly's Novice Stakes, but only one with any racecourse experience, and that's Charlie Appleby's Twilight Star. That's enough to swing me in her favour, and with a 3rd place on her debut under rules over course and distance last month, she can be expected to come on for that. She definitely showed signs of greenness on that first run. being a bit too keen early on and looking off balance out of the dip. So with a more measured effort has to be the one to follow.